Have you ever wondered who the true culprit behind the epic Ragnarok of Norse mythology is? Well, get ready for an epic twist, because in this video I'm going to reveal why Ragnarok isn't Loki's fault, as everyone thinks, but rather Odin's, the father of all the gods. Hold on tight, because we're about to dive into the intriguing world of Norse gods and uncover the secrets behind the end of the world. The idea that Loki is solely to blame for Ragnarok is widely circulated. But does it really hold up? The video makes us question this traditional view and presents a new perspective. What if Odin, the father of all the gods and known for his wisdom, was actually the one responsible for triggering the Norse world's end? Throughout the mythological stories, we see Odin constantly seeking knowledge and power. He sacrifices his own eye to drink from the well of Mimir, seeking insights into the future and the threats looming over the gods and the world. His thirst for knowledge leads him to acquire the mysterious runes, symbols of power and magic. All this relentless pursuit of wisdom may seem noble at first glance, but was he inadvertently paving the way for destruction? It's important to recognize that Odin isn't just a god of war, but also a cunning strategist and manipulator. His actions often involve deceit and trickery to get what he wants, which breeds resentment among the giants, a powerful race in constant conflict with the gods. Furthermore, his decisions regarding Loki and his children significantly contribute to the events leading to Ragnarok. These reflections prompt us to rethink Odin's image as the wise and benevolent hero and lead us to question whether he is, in some way, the architect of his own destruction and that of the world he rules. Ragnarok, the apocalyptic event in Norse mythology, is like the climax of a grand cosmic drama. The prophecies preceding it describe a series of dark events foretelling the end of times. Among these signs are the tragic death of Balder, Odin's son, and the extremely harsh winter known as Fimbulvetr. The peak of this cataclysm is an epic battle between gods and their ancestral enemies, a struggle that will culminate in the destruction of the world as we know it. Each of the major Norse gods has their fate sealed in this final conflict. Odin, the father of all and symbol of wisdom, is fated to meet his ultimate demise by being devoured by the fearsome wolf Fenrir. Thor, the mighty god of thunder, battles the giant serpent Jormungand, his archenemy since birth. Meanwhile, Tyr, the god of war and courage, faces the bitter fate of losing his arm while trying to restrain the unstoppable Fenrir. But Ragnarok is not just an end, it's also a new beginning. Despite the imminent destruction, prophecies state that the world will be reborn, rejuvenated and fertile, ready to be inhabited once again. Some gods will survive to witness this new era, while others will be claimed by death and the chaos of the final battle. The narrative of Ragnarok teaches us about the cyclical nature of life and death, about the inevitability of fate, and about the eternal struggle between good and evil. Odin's relentless pursuit of knowledge and wisdom is a fundamental characteristic of his personality in Norse mythology. He is constantly seeking insights into the future and the dangers threatening Asgard and the gods. One of the most striking episodes of this quest is when Odin sacrifices his own eye to drink from the well of Mimir, a source of unparalleled wisdom. This symbolic act demonstrates how much he is willing to sacrifice to gain knowledge. Additionally, Odin also seeks the power of the runes, magical symbols with profound hidden powers. According to legend, he hung himself on Yggdrasil, the world tree, for 9 nights, injuring himself with his own spear as a sacrifice to himself. At the end of this trial period, the runes were revealed to him, granting him even greater knowledge and the ability to influence the destinies of gods and men. Paradoxically, Odin's quest for knowledge and preparation for Ragnarok may have contributed to its inevitability. By trying to protect himself and the gods, he inadvertently fuels the flames of destruction. His interference in the affairs of the Jotuns, the ancestral giants, breeds resentment and hostility, feeding the cycle of violence that leads to Ragnarok. Furthermore, his actions regarding Loki, his own adopted son, and his descendants, the monsters Fenrir, Jormungand, and Hel, have disastrous consequences. By banishing Hel to the underworld and imprisoning Fenrir and Jormungand, Odin only postpones the inevitable. These acts of repression fuel the anger and desire for revenge of these beings, who will ultimately turn against the gods in a cataclysmic final showdown. Thus, despite his best intentions, Odin may have inadvertently sealed the fate of Asgard and its inhabitants. The tumultuous relationship between Odin and the Jotuns, the ancestral giants of Norse mythology, is marked by conflict and mistrust. Odin, in his quest for power and knowledge, often resorts to deceptive strategies to overcome these giants. He may seek out magical artifacts or information he deems vital to protect Asgard and the gods. However, these acts of deceit and manipulation only feed the cycle of violence and hostility between the Jotuns and the gods, contributing to the atmosphere of mistrust that pervades the Norse world. Loki, a central character in Norse mythology, plays a crucial role in this dynamic. Despite being a Jotun by birth, he lives among the gods and is often seen as an ambiguous figure, capable of causing both chaos and protecting his fellow gods. The relationship between Odin and Loki is complex, marked by moments of alliance and betrayal. Odin's actions regarding Loki and his descendants, such as the wolf Fenrir and the serpent Jormungand, trigger a chain of events that culminate in Ragnarok. The troubled relationship between Odin and Loki plays a pivotal role in the unfolding of the events leading to Ragnarok. Motivated by his desire to protect Asgard and the gods, Odin takes drastic measures against Loki and his offspring, believing them to be linked to the prophecy of the end of the world. He banishes Hel to the underworld, imprisons Fenrir and Jormungand, and is determined to keep Loki under control. However, these actions have unforeseen consequences. In trying to contain the foretold fate, Odin inadvertently hastens its arrival. Odin's repression fuels the hatred and desire for revenge of Loki and his descendants, who turn against the gods in a cataclysmic final confrontation. Thus, the complicated relationship between Odin and Loki becomes a determining factor in the onset of Ragnarok, illustrating the complexity of the bonds between the Norse gods and the ancestral giants. Despite his efforts to protect Asgard and the gods, Odin ends up bringing about the fate he feared. By banishing Hel, Fenrir, and Jormungand, he inadvertently fuels the resentment of these beings, who become key players in the unfolding of Ragnarok. Hel, as queen of the underworld, sends her army of undead to the final battle. Fenrir, the giant wolf, grows in size and fury, becoming an unstoppable threat. Jormungand, the serpent that encircles the world, prepares to unleash its destructive fury. All these creatures, born of Odin's deceit and repression, unite to fulfill the prophesied fate. The tragic death of Baldur, Odin's son, is another crucial point contributing to the unfolding of Ragnarok. Desperate to avoid the prophecy foretelling the death of his beloved son, Odin and Frigga, his wife, undertake a journey throughout the cosmos to protect Baldur from harm. They make everything, beings, and objects swear not to harm Baldur. However, a crucial detail is overlooked: the humble mistletoe plant. Loki, driven by jealousy and resentment, discovers this flaw and uses it to inflict Baldur's death, thus triggering a chain of events that will lead to Ragnarok. Baldur's tragedy, though marked by love and parental protection, ends up being a catalyst for the end of the Norse world. Loki's punishment by Odin is a powerful narrative in Norse mythology. After being responsible for Baldur's death and other betrayals, Loki is captured by Odin and subjected to brutal punishment. He is chained in a cave, with a venomous serpent suspended over his head. His wife, Sigyn, stands by his side, holding a basin to try to catch the venom and alleviate his suffering. However, every time she needs to empty the basin, the venom falls onto Loki, causing excruciating pain. The tremors caused by his spasms of pain are responsible for the earthquakes that plague the land of mortals. This punishment is a powerful metaphor for the destructive consequences of Loki's actions, and also for the endless cycle of revenge and suffering in Norse mythology. Odin's role in the unfolding of Ragnarok raises profound questions about his character and motivations. Despite his noble intentions to protect Asgard and the gods, his actions end up contributing to the inevitable end of the Norse world. His relentless pursuit of knowledge and power, his manipulation of events, and his desire to control fate can be interpreted as signs of a leader determined to ensure the survival of his people. However, it can also be seen as a manifestation of pride and arrogance, leading him to defy fate and, inadvertently, seal the fate of his own downfall. Ultimately, Odin's story and Ragnarok lead us to question the complexities of free will, destiny, and the price of power. And there you have it, my friends. Now you know the truth behind Ragnarok, and it's not what you expected, is it? I hope you've had as much fun as I did unraveling this epic mystery. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more fascinating content about mythology and much more. Until the next adventure.